welcome to the latest installment of My Dad Listens to This. I'm Juliet the daughter.
That must make me Kevin the dad.
Why, yes, it must. And today, we are covering Costello music by the Fratellis. So, Dad, what do we need to know?
Well, we need to know that the Fratellis consist of John, Barry, and Mince Fratelli. The band's name comes from the Fratelli crime family in the movie The Goonies.
Okay.
I've seen bits and pieces.
Same.
I know I'm at that age where I'm supposed to have seen it and be a big fan, but couldn't be bothered.
Same,
Sorry.
I haven't seen it either, but I might at some point.
But I do have the vinyl soundtrack.
Really?
Because there was a Bangles song on there that you couldn't get anywhere else.
Oh, we'll talk about that in our Bangles episode when we get there.
Someday.
Yeah.
Okay, John Fratelli was originally born John Lawler on March 4th, 1979. Originally from Cumbernauld, Scotland, Lawler and family moved to Glasgow. He went to St. Maurice's High School and later went to college for 3 hours. In 2005, John responded to an ad placed in a music shop by drummer Gordon McRae, a.k.a. Mince Fratelli, and it said, "Opportunity of a lifetime, seeks band to make our mark on the music industry." Gordon put the ad under the name Graham, so his then-current bandmates wouldn't find out he wanted to be in a new band.
Uh-oh.
Lawler called the number a few times asking for Graham, but kept being told wrong number. He decided to try one more time, and Gordon himself answered the phone.
So, what happened when the other band members found out?
Don't know. They probably weren't happy.
Yeah, probably not.
The band formed with Barry Wallace on bass, a.k.a. Barry Fratelli. They got their first radio airplay in 2005 on Scotland's Beat 106, later known as XFM Scotland, now known as Capital Scotland. Probably various conglomerates bought it.
Probably.
Anyway, they put out a 3-song EP in 2006 and signed with label Fallout Records, a subsidiary of the Universal Music Group. Their full-length debut, Costello Music, not named after Elvis, or Lou for that matter.
Okay.
But after a studio they used to rent in Bud Hill, Glasgow.
Blood Hill. I like Blood Hill better.
Bud Hill, sorry. Anyway, Costello Music was released on September 11th, 2006. It would come out in the U.S. on October 30th, 2007, almost a year later, on Cherry Tree Interscope. Now, the debut hit number 2 for 3 weeks on the UK album charts and number 1 in Scotland. BBC One radio listeners voted them a Brit Award for British Breakthrough Act of 2007, which I guess that counts. Maybe if they're looking at it as like United Kingdom, I guess.
I'm sure they'd prefer Scottish.
Yeah. They hit the UK festival circuit. Sorry. They hit the UK festival circuit. I know how to read. Playing Glastonbury and headlining NME's Rock and Riot tour. They also opened for the Police reunion tour in the summer of 2007.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, playing a few North American dates.
Wow.
Makes sense, trio, opening for another trio.
Yeah.
They released 5 singles from the debut in the UK, the most successful being Chelsea Dagger, which hit number 5. The singles, unfortunately, did not chart in most countries.
Aww.
Yeah, USA, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at us. I mean, come on. The album did make it to number 42 on the Billboard 200 albums charts.
Okay.
But not even the use of Flathead in an iPod commercial could increase sales in the U.S.
Oh.
The band toured Japan, Europe, and the United States, where they cut their tour short due to fatigue on Lawler's part. But there were also theories that he was really homesick for Scotland and his wife.
Oh.
They self-produced their second album, 2008's Here We Stand, which went to number 5 in the UK, but nowhere in the US.
Ooh.
They took 5 years off between this and their third album, focusing on side band and solo projects. We Need Medicine came out in 2013 on Island, their last major label release. Since then, they've been putting out an album about every 3 years or so on British indie label Cooking Vinyl. Now, getting back to their debut, when it came out into the UK, the Fratellis were lumped in with other similar-sounding Brit bands like the Libertines, Baby Shambles, both which featured Pete Doherty, and the Arctic Monkeys. But critic Sal Cinquemani said, they sound like about 15 other Brit pop acts, but it's one thing to copy a look, a sound, or a formula. It's another to do it so utterly convincingly and with infectious raucousness. Plus, the band took themselves a lot less seriously. Costello Music sold 1.5 million copies worldwide, 900,000 in the UK alone. Both the US and UK versions have 13 tracks. The differences with the UK version are Old Black and Blue Eyes is the very last track, and the song The Gutterati was substituted on the US version in place of Country Boys and City Girls, probably because the band spelled country without the O.
Yeah, we're uptight about that word in the US. Everywhere
Yeah.
else, they just say it willy-nilly.
Yeah, they kind of do. I ended up doing research on that word. And yeah, for some reason, it's just like, it's almost like complimentary too, to, depending on the situation.
Depends who you say it to as
That's
well.
true.
Yeah.
Like he's a good. There you go. Also, this was the only album where the songwriting credit is to the Fratellis. John Lawler would get solo songwriting credit on subsequent releases. Sam Hadley did the cover and booklet artwork as well as for the singles. It harkens back to the Nudge Nudge Wink Wink men's magazines from the 50s. 3 women, and yes, they are a blonde, a brunette, and a redhead. So you got your major color groups represented hair-wise.
Hair color, anyway, yeah.
Yeah. As for me, I'm pretty sure it was Mike that was the one who had this album first. He played it for me in his car while we were driving to the seas and back. And I was surprised how catchy each song was. And then I realized I had already heard a lot of these tracks on WBRU back when they were still a college radio station.
Rest in peace.
Yep, I think they just played the crap out of this album.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure I eventually picked up my copy from Newberry Comics. So let's dive into this, shall we?
Oh, yes, let's. First track, Henrietta. Not a name you hear often anymore.
No, maybe it's big in Europe.
Yeah, not even the name Etta. The 3 boys are jonesing for a girl named Henrietta, and they want her to leave her husband, get all her money, bump off her dad, and come with them. And they will let her do whatever, even answer the phone at Costello music, however they want. If I saw 3 rock stars wanting me at the same time, you bet I'd be flattered. And Henrietta in the music video seems flattered too. You can tell these guys are delinquents, but they're lovable delinquents who just horse around all in good fun, and you can get the sense they'd never break a woman's heart.
They're good bad, but not evil.
Yeah, plus the chorus is so catchy you can't help but smile as you listen to them.
Interesting. I kind of got a different impression of Henrietta. I looked at her as being like their most devoted groupie.
Oh, okay.
And they say, they've got no flowers for her. They just want to be taken care of. And they know that she loves them. And her husband would probably kill them if he found out.
Yeah.
So like you said, it's empty out the bank, kill your husband. She can live with them, answer the phones at Costello Music. And they'd love to hate her, but they have no choice. They figure it's like, okay, we kind of got to keep the sugar mama happy to keep themselves in Skittles and Bear. Because I think it's like, yeah, they're not the greatest guys in the world, and they know that, and they even admit that in the song's second line.
Yes, they
with
do.
that word again. But I think it's kind of like they realize, oh yeah, we got this groupie, and she's got money, and how do we turn this into an advantage for us?
We need to pay bills.
Yes. Very catchy song. Shane Watson plays the horn. I'm not sure what kind of horn it is, but
It's a horn. It's
a horn.
brass.
Yes. And the band does show that it doesn't take itself seriously. I think with that wah, 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 wah,
Yeah.
because I don't think a lot of bands would risk a goofy moment like that. Great way to open this album. This is pretty much what the rest of the album sounds like. Hooky tunes that you remember for as long as you're able to.
Or as long as you want.
Yeah. And Henrietta, not a common name in these parts. Like
No.
you said, Etta is a nickname, and you know what else is a nickname, which I did not know until I did my Henrietta research?
Henry, but spelled with an I?
Nope.
What?
Harriet.
Huh. I thought that was just a regular name.
I did too, but apparently that's also a nickname for Henrietta.
Oh, huh. More you know. Next track, Flathead. What's really cool in the music video is that they have girls dressed as the models on the cover, and all of them are very cute and pretty. Hello, ladies. Okay, so I think this song is about a guy who's going with a girl who only wants to get railed, and then another guy starts talking smack, and the first guy tells him to quit it, calling him a flathead, which in this context means stupid. The music is catchy, and we have another catchy chorus, but because the story is a bit unclear, I'm not jamming to it as much as the first one.
Flathead, or as Lena Lamont would say, Flathead. This is the song that was used in the iPod commercial. It went all the way up to number 73 on the Billboard Hot 100.
What year did that commercial come out?
Either 2006 or 7.
I don't remember, do you?
Vaguely.
Okay.
Vaguely. But, I bought the album, so, they got my money.
Back to the album.
Now, here's the thing, though. It hit number 1 on Billboard's Hot Singles Sales chart. But I don't know what the difference is. Like, I tried doing research online, and They just couldn't tell me anything. But it's kind of weird that you could be number one on one chart and number 73 on another. I don't know. Anyway, this is the song everyone kind of knows thanks to the rousing. Hook. I imagine some team somewhere had fans that used this as a cheer.
Oh, yeah.
And as for you, yes, you.
What?
You cannot resist singing along.
Oh, yeah.
And if you do, you, my friend, are made of very stern stuff. Now, what is a flathead? I found two definitions that kept coming up. One, like you said, is a stupid person. Or two, someone who lives on the edge and is very wild.
Could be both.
It could be both. I kind of tend to go with the latter as the song describes a few out-of-control situations. Guys getting head kicked, bleeding noses, glass and ticket stub chewing. But you know what? It all comes down to very, very catchy song. And I'm just really surprised it just didn't get a lot bigger here. And maybe it was because of them just cutting their tour short. That can kind of put the kibosh on momentum.
Next track, Whistle for the Choir. Side note, I was a choir kid. Don't remember that much whistling. We didn't even whistle in any of our songs because I think that would have been a mini nightmare.
Side note, I was the parent of someone who was in the choir, and I remember going to different places to watch you sing. I believe, was one of them in Cardi's?
Yeah, one of them was Cardi's when we did the a cappella competition for Cat Country 98.1. We sang 2 songs, and the group that won, I think they were from Bishop Hendricken, and we suspected that the reason they won was because they sang a country song, and Cat Country 98.1 gave them the money.
And for those of you who don't know, Cardi's is a furniture store, and they have their own on-site studio for recording their sometimes hilarious commercials.
Yep, featuring Nairobi, the 3 brothers, Nick, Ron, and Pete, except one of them's dead now, so it's what?
Nick. Nick died, and it's just Ron and Pete left.
So it's Rope.
Pete, I believe, will be the last man standing.
Yeah, I think so too, like Ringo and the Beatles. Anyway, the opening acoustic guitar made me wonder if this band influenced Bo Burnham at all, because one of the songs from his special Inside has a similar guitar solo to this. Story is, there's a guy chatting up a girl. She says she's not lonely, but apparently he thinks she is and calls her stupid. So I'm wondering, is this gaslighting in song, or someone is trying to make another person believe something that isn't true? I'm also very satisfied that there was some whistling in a song that has the word whistle in the title, because if there wasn't, I would have been put out. It's a song about a jerk, but a catchy song about a jerk I can harmonize with, so I like it.
Yeah, with this song, things slow down just a tad to a shuffle beat, because we kind of need a rest from the first 2 shots of adrenaline. Well, it's a big, big city, and what's a lonely guy to do? Find a girl just as lonely, even though she could be silly or stupid? Thanks. Hopefully she's smart enough to see through that.
Yeah.
Anyway, originally, this song's title was going to be Knickers in a Handbag, but was changed to Whistle due to, I guess, some pushback from the record company. But
sure.
if you track down the single, there's an illustration of one of the 3 women from the album cover actually pulling out a pair of knickers from her handbag. And it does have whistling at the end, which I was satisfied. So there you go, because as I'm listening to the song, like, I know this song, but I can't remember where the whistling does come in. And it's kind of towards the end. I myself am a lousy whistler. And the thing is, when back in my Whole Foods days, Michelle and Bakery tried so many times to teach me how to whistle, but I could never get the hang of it. I was kind of like Mr. Snuffleupagus. If I was by myself, I could do it. But if people showed up, it was like...
Peace out.
It was like I had a bunch of saltines in my mouth and nothing was going to happen.
Sorry, Michelle, you failed.
No, you really tried. I blame myself.
Oh, God.
So... You know, I can never quite get it, and I still can't consistently. Every once in a while it comes out, and like, we're people, and they show up, and it's like...
So when it matters, can't perform. I meant music! Okay,
let's move on, shall we, to your favorite song?
No, it's not.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you liked this.
Well, I did, but it's not my favorite anymore. Chelsea Dagger. I remember I found the music video for this song when I was in middle school, and it was the most boobies and scantily clad women I'd ever seen in my life. I don't remember feeling anything other than disbelief that I was able to watch this online. The song, I think, is about either soliciting sex or maybe dancing with a stripper. The singer meets Chelsea Dagger with little Stephen and Joanna, and Chelsea immediately knows the protagonist is a blagger, which is a term for someone who gets what they want in a clever way by saying things that aren't true, like a smooth talker. So they dance for a little bit and possibly do a little more, saying, "Let me dance with your sister for the hell of it." The song is insanely catchy with the
Okay, we should stop.
Yeah, and the guitar lick, which sets up the fun tension of a wild ride. Definitely the best song to jam out to out of the first four.
Okay. John wrote this about his then wife Heather, a burlesque dancer who used the name Chelsea Dagger as her stage name.
Cool.
And it was supposed to be kind of a play on the name Britney Spears. Dagger, Spear, there you go.
Oh,
It's been used as a sports anthem by a lot of football clubs, including Sporting Club de Portugal. The NHL's Chicago Blackhawks use it too. And it's also been used in commercials, movies, and Guitar Hero. This song in Flathead is where they made their
money.
kale. Why? Because of that irresistible. Sorry, it's just...
We gotta sing the whole thing!
It's just inescapable.
Yep.
The playing is stripped down, but the band even throws in a little bit of bolero at the break. If you listen,
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And as you said, a blagger is someone who's a smooth talker and can use that talent to get what they want. And I must say, you found all the videos, which I didn't even think of looking at the videos. It's just like...
I didn't find all of them. I found a few. Yeah.
Well, like, what I do is just, I got iTunes, I call up the album, and then I just go to A to Z lyrics and just follow along with the lyrics. Even though they're in the booklet, but the letters are small and my eyesight's going, and I need the kind of bigger...
Large print, yeah.
Large print, but not like the large print books at the library large print. I'm not that bad yet.
Next track. The Gujarati? Fratellis go punk with a dash of Bob Dylan harmonica.
Yes.
Yeah, the lead character of this song is not mentally well, but you can tell that they're a person who wants to have a good time and is genuinely trying to help people, however on the fritz they might be. The song is fast-paced with some interesting touches, such as the harmonica mentioned earlier, and also a loud, high-pitched tone that almost sounds like an electric doorbell, which made me think the door was ringing at 11 o'clock at night when I heard this. Maybe it's supposed to be a siren warning you of this man's presence. It's not enough to have the song be engaging, but the part at the end where everybody claps and cheers, it has the ambiance of an open mic night at the club. Then one of the band members says, "I hate your fucking lyrics." Everybody laughs, and you laugh too, because you can tell they're having a good time. Also, the way that man pronounces Cinderella is my new favorite thing, but not enough to make me listen to the song again.
The Gujarati is, I'm just guessing it's the opposite of the glitterati, the beautiful people, because these people are kind of anything but.
Yeah.
But that's okay. So the singer's chasing down flies and shooting up women, but I think it's probably the other way around since he's trying to get the whole thing straight in his head. And probably because the guys are drinking petrol and they're bamming up the girls, and they had to look up that phrase, even though I kind of knew
what it meant. Yeah.
And things are just a mess, but the singer promises to help out any way he can. And I gotta say, the song's lyrics made me hungry, because he sings about getting Monte Cristos and going to see the band.
Oh,
and
Monte
then
Cristos
I
are so good.
Monte Cristos, and I thought, I think I could do this. Granted, it has Swiss cheese, but I thought, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to go all the way.
It's really good.
And I think I might make them for us this week.
Also, one cool thing that you can do with Monte Cristo sandwiches, for the bread part, do waffles.
Oh, I don't know if I could bring myself that far. I'll do a waffle version for you, but I think I will just stick with plain bread for me for now. I mean, I could definitely see waffles, but
No. I want to do plain bread too, because frozen waffles doesn't taste as good as like some of the waffles that you can get on that sandwich in a diner.
Because I know you do that sweet savory thing.
Yeah.
But I think with like the Dave's bread we got in the freezer, that'd be perfect for it. But
well, it's just basically like a Thanksgiving sandwich with cranberry sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, the versions I got, it was like, let's see, Swiss cheese, turkey, and ham, and bread. And then you butter the bread, sides of the bread. And it's like like a fancy grilled cheese sandwich, except you're getting some meat in there somewhere.
Yeah.
And they had some where you could have like cranberry sauce or whatever
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
side that you want.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it made me really, really hungry. And you know, me and my relationship with cheese.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not crazy about cheese, but I thought, well, you know, I've done it for the Cuban sandwich, and I
Mm-hmm.
did it for when your mom and I went to Billy Goat's in Chicago and had the cheeseburgers because you got to have one there,
Mm-hmm.
so it can be done.
Dad's not lactose intolerant. He just doesn't like it.
Not an all-out cheese fan.
Yeah.
Kind of comes and goes. Good fast song.
Yep.
Getting back to the gutturati. Yeah, and I like the Dylan reference. I can definitely see that.
Anytime I hear a harmonica, I go, "Oh, it's Bob!"
Because no one else plays the harmonica but Bob. Bob invented the harmonica. The harmonica did not exist before Bob.
Bob invented folk music and the harmonica. And the end.
Yep.
Next track, For the Girl. The title alone made me think of the Denise Williams song, Let's Hear It for the Boy, but I can already tell those two tracks are totally different. The teasing boys are back as we listen to the story of two broken people who fall in love and ruin each other. Not like Zelda and F. Scott Fitzgerald, but yeah, pretty close. They complement each other well. She loves the stones, he loves the roses, she breaks his bones, he's breaking noses, and eventually all their violence turns toward each other. For a brief moment, he gets nostalgic towards the end of the song with a slower tempo and an almost distant voice as he remembers the music they listened to. But as soon as he remembers the physical pain they both suffered, the anger comes back with the frantic, angsty guitar and fast tempo. And when they did eventually call it quits, she said, "I can't love you any more than this." Translation, I don't know how to love you any other way, and he doesn't either. A bit sad and sobering when you lead the lyrics on their own, but with the music, it's a wild, fun blur.
And more chanting, this time of that la 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 la
Oh, yeah,
variety.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And more messy love or lust. My favorite lines are, she was into the stones when I was into the roses, because I don't know if you know, at that time, there was a band called the Stone Roses.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember from Moon Boy, because that's the band the sister listens to after Talking Heads break up.
Yep. Or Chalky Heads.
He called it Talkie Heads, the
Yeah.
dad. He was really trying very hard.
He was. And for me, that makes the song worthwhile. Not the greatest song in the world, but very catchy. And one thing that you pointed out, which I noticed through a lot of the songs, if you read the lyrics on their own, it's like, wow, these are not the funnest of times. But damn,
No.
they make them so with their music. Again, it could be like happy music about sad stuff.
You could see like the Dead Kennedys doing music like this and just really playing into the absolute downer of it all. Like it would still be frantic, but you'd have to stare at a wall for a while afterwards.
And the DKs would take that football and just run all the way down the field with it.
Correctamundo.
And beyond.
Yep. Next track. Dog in a bag. Not
Yep.
dog in a beer. Dog in a bag.
What do you want?
Dog in a beer. Field of Dreams. Go see that movie if you haven't already. Sometimes you need to see someone worse than you to feel better about yourself. That's one of the theories about why reality TV is so popular.
Oh my God, because as screwed up as your life is, someone else is even more so.
You will never be shake from Love is Blind. Anyway, so that's what works for a singer. There's a person who has everything they want but is absolutely horrible, and that makes our lead character feel better about his own life. The highlight of this song is that the musical highlight of the song, I should say, is that screech, as he just can't take it anymore. As for the instruments, that man is teasing the guitar. He never quite lets it hit a high note, but there's so much building of tension, and there's this progression of notes that are played over and over, rising and falling in such a way that it can't be described as anything but teasing. We need more guitarists like that who leave us unsatisfied in the best way. Other than that, the song doesn't really grab you.
Uh-huh. So I Googled dog in the bag to see if it was some sort of Brit expression, and guess what came up?
Do I want to know?
Yes, you do.
What?
Links to dog carriers. You can get an Hermes one for $2,750. But the thing is, that dog is going to poop in that carrier, even if you bought like, a $1.99 shopping bag from your local Whole Foods.
It's like that vine. I spilled lipstick in your Valentino bag. You spilled lipstick in my Valentino bag! Yeah, that's going to be what happens when the dog poops in the Hermes.
Yep.
Yep.
But oh, it's so cute. But I'm also figuring if you can spend $2,750 on a dog bag and they poop in it, you're probably not going to care.
No.
You're probably just going to
Buy another one.
Or have the help clean it up.
Oh, dear God.
Yes. Or give it to the help for their own and have them buy you a brand new one, like, maybe once a week or whatever.
Jeez.
And also, I found out that the New York City subway system banned dogs unless they can fit in the bag. So that probably started the whole craze of cute little doggies in bags.
What if you need like a seeing eye dog?
Oh yeah, I'm sure service dogs are allowed, but like unserviced dogs,
You're on thin ice.
yeah, you definitely are. But here's the thing: the Urban Dictionary defines the term as the latest fad for Hollywood celebrities trying to be seen as fashionable. Because I guess that was a craze for a while where you'd have
The Chihuahua, the teacup dog.
exactly.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it
remember
might have
that.
been a Paris Hilton thing. She may have started that.
That might have been a thing too, because I remember there was like a ton of movies that came out about like little chihuahuas and puppies. A lot of them with George Lopez. Yeah, and Jamie Lee Curtis for some reason.
And I actually saw it used in the sentence as getting married is the new Hollywood dog in the bag. But I
Oh,
kind of think the song goes for the latter definition. I think, because to me it's like it may not mean anything overall, but the song's kind of got a swagger to it, and sometimes that's enough.
yeah. Next track, my favorite song, Creeping Up the Back Stairs. Easily my favorite Fratellis song, and I have a favorite memory of it. When I was 17, I did a summer production of Shakespeare's Love's Labour's Lost, a play about four men who make a vow of chastity so as to pursue higher education, only for all of them to immediately fall in love and try to keep their feelings secret. Our director, Tiffany, wanted a song for the opening sequence that set the tone for the whole show. She picked my suggestion, which was this song. I selected it because it sets the tone perfectly, not just with the sneaking around part of the story. The song is so teasing, as it says in the lyrics. When you're creeping up the back stairs, mothers, nightmares fall into the front door. My, climbing in the window, get dressed, let's go, take your brother's car keys, bye-bye. There's the teasing part that says, don't just say yes to tease me, do your utmost to please me. And they drag out those words, so it's kind of like, they're all up in your face. It has the tension of horny teenagers, and also the thrill of doing something forbidden while getting completely away with it. The music for the title lyric captures the mood of tiptoeing quietly outside before people notice you're gone, and then the guitar comes back to capture the absolute thrill and endorphin rush when you make it out with no one noticing. I love this song so much, I rewound it while listening to it for this show, just to hear the chorus again.
Rewound it?
Rewound it, yeah. I still call it rewound for past tense, rewind. And a great thing about reviewing this song is noticing stuff I didn't all these years, like the fact there's a friggin' banjo that plays, creating an interesting twang that makes the song even more awesome. And then the song ends abruptly, either to say, okay, party's over, or to suggest, oops, they got caught.
Yep.
It's not love, but it's fun fueled by hormones when you're a teen, which is an absolute blast. The song sends me on the nostalgia train every time and brings back fond memories of that chaotic rehearsal process that led to a wonderful show. Oh, and also, years later, I found out that Tiffany went on to direct the Texas premiere of Hamilton in Houston. So I feel even more validated with my taste in music because of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that. As soon as you said about the play, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that scene. That was pretty cool.
It was a cool opening.
Yep. And now, once more, we're back in the land of fast catchiness. And I'm not sure if it's Rosie or the singer who has to creep up the back stairs and climb out the window and basically sneak out to have fun.
Maybe both.
Maybe both, yeah. And I think you nailed the whole mood of the song extremely well.
Thank you.
No, thank you, because it saves me a lot of talking. And yep, another fun song.
Next track, Vince the Lovable Stoner. Vince the Stoner is a man whose pupil hasn't been seen for 16 days, so that shows you how much he smokes. My favorite part of this song is how the music is lazy and playful with the hi-hats and the guitar is almost sounding like a far-out ukulele. But other than that, the song doesn't offer much. Just shows what it's like to be a lovable, lazy, horny stoner, and there isn't much to do other than eat munchies and chase after girls. It may feel like a far-out adventure, but really he's just sitting there and giggling like an idiot. So you have fun, Vince. I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, the title pretty much tells you all you need to know. Vince has been up for days, can't see the pupils in his eyes, either he has slash-like hair, or he's just so stoned that eventually things will come back into focus. But it just doesn't seem like that, like he's just constantly high, even when he's asleep. Yeah, and it's like he's got a crush on this girl, takes her out for tacos, but she likes burritos, as
I like
they say.
burritos better, too.
Yeah. He sleeps all day and dreams of her, but he also sleeps all day and doesn't touch her, probably because he's just too stoned out of his goods. Like, yeah, she's here, and she's like, guy,
You
come
gonna do
on,
anything?
yeah, come on, let's. Oh crap!
looking at her
asleep.
watch.
Yep, yep. And I think the music is playfully goofy to match Vince's mood.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to the one point where John Lola breaks in with a shh,
Mm-hmm.
because Vince must be sleeping. But it's only very briefly, and it's like, okay, we got to get the guy up.
Next track. Everybody knows you cried last night.
Do they?
I don't know. I think that this is the song where the guys really act like jerks. Not only that, but they're kind of kicking a dog while she's down. Guy has fun with his girl, something happens, and she ends up a bit of a mess. The guy just sneers at her and says, "Oh, whoop-de-doo, everyone knows you cried last night." She might not be all that innocent, and she may be twee, meaning cute and sentimental, but in this context, not in a positive way. But she's still upset about something, and you're rubbing her face in it. Just get her some greasy food and help her get a good night's sleep. If I knew these guys in real life, I'd flip them off, say up yours, and take my friend home. Come on, honey, let's get away from all this riffraff.
I kind of looked at it differently. I thought it could have been about a naive prostitute looking for love in all the wrong places.
Oh, okay.
Like the line that kind of cemented it for me was about being under the red light. Which
yeah, Roxanne.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Which, hey, coincidence. Like, they went on tour for them,
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at it as like one of the Johns made her cry because he's told her, "You look so dumb and so twee," like being like innocent or naive or what have you. And you can only wish you were married to me. Not the most pleasant of subject matter.
No.
But damn, once again, catchy song.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy it.
I like the catchiness.
Okay, yeah.
I feel bad. I gotta say one thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is rock and roll or just being stupid, but like I've heard these songs so many times, but I never really focused in on the lyrics as much as I did while getting ready for this podcast and realizing, yes, a little bit of unpleasantness going on to
Some
this.
sobering stuff.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But you can dance to it.
Huh.
You can.
Kind of like Fadu. Man, it's beautiful, but you're going to cry your eyes out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Next track. Baby Fratelli. Man, this woman must be really good in bed, otherwise he would have hightailed it a long time ago. Basically, this guy's going out on a Friday night, and he runs into this girl who he's hooked up with, but basically she's like if a spilled wine glass was a person.
Oh, man.
I got that from Jarvis Johnson. You're welcome. As the song puts it, Friday's nightmare. Great in bed, a mess in the head. And he keeps saying, "I'm not interested. There's this other girl who likes me." And eventually he relents, saying, "I'll go out with you for another season," mainly just to shut her up. Newsflash, sweetheart. Consent is a two-way street, and men can say no too. If you keep saying yes, it'll be messy for you as well in the end. I think the more and more this album goes on, the more fed up I get with the characters. I can only tolerate bad boy behavior for so long.
Well, I looked at it was like the title Baby Fratelli. I thought, could Baby be one of the band members' little sisters?
Or groupies?
Or a groupie? Just like a really young fan. And she seems like she's trying to act so cool around them, but she winds up looking ridiculous, like she's sucking her fingers while wearing high heels. It sounds like something like a preteen girl might do. And they'll think that guys go for this and like, "I'm so cool." But the guys are like, "Nope.
Nope.
Don't do it.
Not touching that.
interested."
Nope.
Yep.
Nope. I'll
And
go to
it's like-
jail.
Yep. And she's like she's first in bed, but he's like, "No, you're just gonna be Friday's night.
Get
man,
out,
like
get
the
out, get
next
out,
day."
get
Yeah,
out, get out,
get
get
out.
out.
Yep. And like you said, the guy can say no too, and I got the feeling they definitely did. Like, nope.
Nope.
Don't need this kind of trouble in my life.
Mostly because they don't want to. Mostly because they'll end up in jail if they do. If we're going with the preteen angle, and he's like, no, I'm serving jail time.
Yep.
I'm not gonna be a sex pervert.
Here's an autograph. Please go away.
Yep. Next track. Got my nuts from a hippie. Oh, you did, huh? Story follows a man who meets a girl at a bar who's smoking hot, but maybe a little spacey. He doesn't mind, though, because he got his nuts from a hippie, which, good for you, man. Eventually, his dreams come true. He gets to shack up with her in the country, and it's so good, he cries, which, oh, buddy, you good? Are you okay? But apparently he is, because of the nuts, because those will make him feel better, I guess. This album seems like a cautionary tale, almost. Watch who you sleep with, and watch what you take.
I had to look up what got my nuts meant, and it's an expression that means one has either lost their virginity or having sex with someone.
Oh, okay.
This was someone from Scotland posted it, and they said this is an expression that they use in Glasgow, but not in Edinburgh. So I guess it's very regional. Hey,
Ewan, my friend Ewan from Scotland. Have you heard people say this before? You're You're old enough, you're an adult, so maybe.
Hey, Ewan, this is the dad. I found it online, so it must be true, right? Right? Anyway, yeah, so in this song, I looked at it as like, okay, the singer's lost his virginity to a hippie chick that he meets in the bar. They go to her camper van. She dances like a medicine man because she's at one with the world and the spirits and whatever other stuff hippies do. Draws something on his hand, like hey, let's do henna or something, and then gets down to it. But like you said, she made him cry, and I'm thinking, well, maybe because it's his first time, and it's like, oh, this isn't as great as I thought it was. Even though he keeps insisting it's all right, but man,
Maybe he's overwhelmed
but
too.
man, the way he sings it at the end, you just don't believe him at all.
He's not fine.
And I think the music backs up that feeling because there's kind of like some menace to it. And it's like, oh man, is that all there is? I thought this was going to be better. But hey, I got my nuts from a hippie, so it can only go up from here.
All right. Next track, final track, Old Black and Blue Eyes. The animation from this music video is old, and it hasn't aged in a good way. It looks like those cartoons that used to play at the duck pin bowling alley I used to like whenever I scored a lot of points.
Oh my god.
Yeah, with the bowling pins.
Yeah.
This
Just like lousy computer
yeah.
generated before Pixar came along and showed us what, we should be doing.
For people of my generation, it's not like VeggieTales animation, because VeggieTales has some charm to it. It's more like Scary Godmother animation, which if you know, yeah. Anyway, this song is what happens when the bad boy tries to be nice to a girl. Maybe because he sees someone he wants to take care of to prevent her from getting hurt like he did, only things go wrong. But what I didn't expect was for there to be a reference to Chelsea Dagger, and thus kind of tying the rest of the album together. I say kind of because it's only one song being referenced here, but oh well. Big surprise. Nothing goes well and everyone's miserable. Yay! I need to decompress.
Now, Sinatra was Old Blue Eyes. So this is different because Tina's got black and blue eyes, presumably from her last guy. And the story that I got out of it was her friend Chelsea wants the singer to take Tina out as a favor, I guess. So the guy does, but he's not really interested. Even though Tina is, like, she's making eyes at him, sending signals, but it's just not working. And the music kind of has a melancholy feel to it to match the lyrics. It's like I said, it's kind of like, hey, can you do me a favor here for a friend, and I'll buy you a beer or pizza or something after,
Better be a really good pizza.
Not that Papagino stuff.
Not Little Caesars.
It's better be Uncle Tony's.
Yeah. All right. Overall, the Fratellis have some catchy music, but in my opinion, after creeping up the back stairs, the quality of the album declines because it's more or less the same story over and over. Not even some great work by the musicians can wake you up enough so you want to listen to more. So feel free to cherry pick with this album, because the songs you like, you'll end up loving, and the ones you don't have a high chance of boring you. So take what you like, leave what you don't.
Okay. For me, this album has so many hooks, you could pierce a finger if you're not careful. Now, here's the thing, though. Right after the album ends, you forget them.
Yes.
Okay, at least I do. And then it's like, I have to go back and listen again to remember which hooks go with which songs. And that could just be old age on my part, but I'm not so sure. I mean, if you felt the same way.
Yeah.
And should you run out and buy this album? I don't think it's necessary. You don't really have to have this music in your collection, which is okay. I mean, if you don't buy it, it's like, I'm still going to talk to you. But it's a good way to kill 45 minutes. I mean, as for me, it's catchy as anything. I love it. And like I said, I could listen to it and then forget it 5 minutes later. It's like when you go to the movies and you see this great movie and like, wow, it's so great. And then you're driving home like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah.
Now, as for the band, I think they could have been contenders in the United States if they had finished their U.S. tour back in 2007. But maybe that really didn't matter to John Lawler. They were doing pretty well for themselves in Europe and other parts of the world. And I think we, as Americans, think a band is only successful or even good if they make it in the United States.
That's not necessarily true, though.
Now, well, here's the thing. I don't think people really didn't think this way until the Beatles made it big in the U.S. They were like the first foreign band to really blow up huge here. And then after them was the British invasion. It was like one band after another,
Yeah.
because it was like they needed to fill the demand in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So you got like the Stones, the Who, the Kinks, the Animals, and on and on and on. And I think that that's what led to that thinking of, okay, well, you're doing well, but you got to make it big in the United States to be considered a success. But at the risk of pointing out the obvious, probably not all bands feel that way.
No.
Because there are a lot of them out there who have been successful without having set foot or even charted in the United States.
And also today with streaming, it makes it so much easier because any artist from anywhere can put their music on iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher. And also, it's like, look at some of the most popular genres of music today, K-pop and J-pop. Some of them have played in the US, some of them haven't. BTS was the first K-pop group to perform on Saturday Night Live, and that's a huge deal. But even if they're not successful in the US, they have devoted fan bases all around the world that are connected to one another thanks to the internet, so they don't even need to break it in the US.
Oh, yeah, and I think the great thing about that is it makes you realize how global music is.
Yeah.
It's not just this one country. It's the whole world.
I mean, look at our podcast. We have people who listen from the United States, but we also have people who listen to us in the UK and in Japan.
Thank you.
Arigato.
Yeah, so while the Fratellis may not be huge here, they are doing all right for themselves in the United Kingdom and beyond.
Yeah.
And just writing about that made me like look up like acts that I have that never got big in the US. I'm like, oh, I wonder if they have like a best of or just something else. And I found stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a whole wide world of music out there, gang.
Yeah.
Just gotta look for it.
Amen. And on that note, as always, thank you for listening to the latest installment of My Dad Listens to This. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. If you follow me on social media, I post the episodes there. If you are friends with my father, email him what episode you want, and he will send it right to your inbox. Thank you for listening to My Dad Listens to This. We will be back next time with another album to nitpick and gripe about, and we will be nitpicking and griping next time with regards to a certain band and a certain podcast. Dad, anything you want to say before we sign off?
Ooh, maybe that's why they opened for the police.
Conspiracy.
Think about it, kids. See ya.
See you next time.